Stream disconnected for some reason. We'll say this is part 2. We're back for part 2. So, the first castle. This is where your runs will die. will come to die. Jump past these first spikes. As soon as you jump, hold up. So we're holding right and up. So you grab onto the ladder. Continue holding up the ladder. And what we were trying to do here is press down on the frame that we transition the screen. So we don't want to go up the ladder, we actually want to get to the top so that the top pixel of our head is on the screen boundary. Is the visual aid to look at, and switch to pressing down. So from going up, switching to pressing down like this. As long as you press down, I think you can still be pressing up, not that on an original controller you could press up and down at the same time, but switch to pressing down on the frame that the screen would transition up, and this should happen. You go down. So, now the castle's in this glitched state. What you want to do is, as soon as the screen has scrolled down off of the ladder room, start holding right, and just hold right. That's the only thing you need to do for this entire section. Once the screen has found its way to this room, with the portal on it, it will scroll down one more time. As soon as the screen has scrolled down to the room below the one with the portal on it, we're going to continue holding right the entire time. We're going to do 3 full jumps in a row, like this. Full jump, let go. Full jump, let go. Full jump, let go. And on the 3rd full jump, you also let go of holding right. Now the screen will scroll down to the room underneath for the final time, and this is where things get tricky. What you need to do is jump on a precise frame. You have a 1-frame window. It is a 1-frame window. You have to get this first try, otherwise the game will soft lock. And then hard lock eventually afterwards. Probably. So yes, you have to get this first try, and the exact frame you want is this one. The cue I use is the only moving thing on the screen that is easy to use. This green pole rising up through these blocks here. So you can see the green pole in the bottom right. The exact frame, all you need to do is press jump on the frame. Nothing else, just jump. Doesn't matter how long for. The exact frame you need is going to be this one. There. This is the frame, so you can see the cue I use. The bottom pixel of the green pole is 1 pixel above that blue dot directly next to it on the left-hand side of the pole. There's a blue dot in that patterned square that is 1 pixel below the bottom of the pole. The bottom of the pole is 1 pixel above that blue dot next to it. On the first frame of that, so unfortunately, the pole's movement is 1 pixel every 2 frames. So it's kind of a 50-50 chance at that point, if you can time that specifically already. The scorpions on the left-hand side of the screen are moving backwards and forwards every 1 frame, actually. So, technically, if you could react this fast, which you cannot, you would be reacting to the scorpions with their tails facing left like they are now, and this pole being 1 pixel above that blue dot on the pattern square on the bottom. And this is when you press jump. And that'll cause Alex to re-jump, re-enter the world exactly on top of the portal, despite it being inside a wall, and you'll warp out of the level before you'll die. You warp out of the level before you die from being inside a wall, because normally you die if you're inside a wall. But luckily you're right on top of the portal. So yeah, get a good feel for that, because that is where all your runs are going to end most of the time. And we're on to Scissor World. That does skip the entirety of the castle and quite a chunk of time from glitchless compared to glitchless. So, as soon as this level starts, hold right, short hop over there. Full hop on top of that. Full hop over there. Full hop anywhere over here, holding right. And we're immediately into a... Oh, don't jump, by the way. Don't jump as you get to these boss fight screens. Because you can go further than the trigger is, and have to spend longer walking back over here. So whenever you're coming up to a boss fight, just run forwards into the onto the spot. And the pause for this one, or immediately into a pause for a boss fight, these ones are much easier than the frame perfect pause you have to do now that you know about that one. The pause for this one is somewhere around, again because these are more lenient, I don't have a incredibly precise marker, but what I'm looking at is these little couple of pixel wide blue gaps in between the tiled trees in the background here. Once your face is covering the third gaps between these trees, the gaps between the third and fourth tree here. Once your face is covering it, somewhere around there, do the pause. Yeah, for some reason this one I don't have as much of a precise marker for, but I don't seem to get it. It doesn't seem to be any more difficult, really. And again, it's the same. You can get the same scenarios as the other boss fights for the pauses. You have a split second to see which is which. And the ones for this fight are rock, followed by paper. Again, holding A to go through the text boxes. Holding right, accept. Now you get this extra text box and you have to do an actual boss fight. So, if you've got the pause correctly, you'll be firing these quarter fireball type, or quarter fire type objects. It's the same either way, he'll just have a different bullet sprite if you didn't do the pause glitch correctly, but it'll be fine. What we want to do is jump over this first shot that he fires and stand in line with the right side of the rightmost house in the background. His head will rise up to attack. As soon as the head starts descending, do a full jump and punch in front of you to get the first hit on it. That was only just soon enough. Then move backwards to position yourself for the next hit. He only requires 3 hits. The next hit will be around... The next hit will be around... I should have save stated closer to that, sorry. The next hit will be around kind of the door of that house. Standing about at the door of that house. And then the final hit will be back around the rightmost window of the left house. On paper, here we go. So let's just save state and try and show it. Okay, so the positions I said were slightly further left than I thought. So your rightmost side of your sprite is in line with the left side of that door, and then your rightmost side of the sprite is in line with the left side of that fourth window. It doesn't have to be that precise, but for the third and final hit, as soon as you gain control back, because everything freezes a bit when you get the hit, as soon as you gain control back you want to be jumping, so that the fireball that's coming right next to you, you jump over, and then just go and stand where the portal is going to spawn, and the portal will spawn on top of you. Don't try and touch his body while his body is still there, because it can damage you as well. See? So yeah, jump, punch, stand here, punch, jump over the fireball into the portal. Next level, big old helicopter level. As soon as you start, tap jump to start the helicopter moving. Hold right, and here is where your mashing skills will come in handy. Mash to climb up here as fast as possible. Let yourself float down here. You want to stay to the right of this section so you have some momentum coming to the left as you come under that, because if you just push up against the left you have slightly less. You have a tiny bit of acceleration time as you come under there, it's a tiny thing. So press left there. Tap a couple of times to rise up. Your aim is to land your wheel on top of this block, and then you can hold right nicely under here. Tap jump a couple of times up there. Another one of these sections, so mash jump up there to rise up here. Let yourself sink down. This one's more dangerous to go for. I like to just push up against this wall and go under, because it's because that vine popping up and down is going to hit you. You can do the same thing as this one where you stay on the left and get that slight momentum coming under. So it's very bad to die anywhere on this level because you have to start from the very beginning of the level again. So getting to know this level very well is a must, especially if you're on a good run where you've actually got the frame perfect press first try. Sorry, I didn't explain that section. So then there's just those two dragons you can fly between. Did I mention you can press B to fire shots from the chopper? You actually can use that in this level. Don't have to, but... So, go through this section. Tap jump up through these two diagonally like this. Come down to this section. It's another one of these patterns. You want to land your wheel on this block here. Hold left. Tap jump a couple of times to go under there. So the way the helicopter crashes is to hit its propeller on the bottom of anything, so just don't hit your propeller up onto the bottom of anything like that. You can get a glitch where the helicopter is still there, but you fall down as if it isn't. As if it isn't. Anyway. Wheel on there. Mash. That's the vine at an awkward position, so that's the reason why I don't go for the staying on the right and then going under the... You can go over the top of here, but it's technically slower because it forces you to bonk on this while you sink down slightly. Up through diagonally there. Land your wheel on that block. Or not quite, but that's fine. You get to this, you can go over that guy, shoot that guy, go under that guy, it doesn't really matter, as long as you're holding left the whole time. You get to these three, those are tighter to get through, so the easiest way is to shoot the bottom one, and then you have a space to get through. Come to the final section. Again, it's one of these patterns, so you get to here and mash. And hopefully this guy will be about that spot in the cycle after you've got up there. So let me just put a save state just before it. The end of this level is slightly technical. Shoot this guy is the easiest way to get through. So, mash up here. You want to land. You want to have this guy break your helicopter so that you land on this red spot, and then you want to break after you've gone over the top of him. And then you just hold left and do a full jump and drop down onto the pool. You can jump over the top of the last row of red blocks. Otherwise, or you can just ignore that and sink down here, which takes slightly longer. So that's that level. Really don't want to down that level. Here's a non-level where you just hold right and jump up the steps. You can pause to skip this text box, but it's such a small time save that it's not really worth it. But in case you want to, the pause spot is I got it says pause. So the pause spot is when the exact center of this dark block. So you see the ground is divided up into rectangles. The orange rectangle with the highest height under his throne has a dark block on the left of it. When the center of that dark block is exactly centered to the center of your sprite is when you want to hit pause and unpause. That might skip this text box, which is really trivial, but if you miss the pause, you lose like 2 seconds for free, so don't do that. And then just go straight in the portal, obviously. The second last level, well, third last level technically. You go in the shop. You should have enough gold to buy this bike. I unfortunately do not because I've been messing around. That's fine. I'll just load a save state that's close. It's the save state we were just on. Looks like I have to go from here. This save state will have enough gold to buy the bike, so I'll just get back to there. Too soon. Right. So hold right, punching up to enter a shop door. Buying just the bike. Exiting the shop, punching up. Holding right the whole time through this level, you get to almost pause too late. Probably pause too late. You get to you can drive over all these like 1 block wide small gaps of green gunk, but on this 3 block wide one, just do a short hop over it. See if this works. No, not quite. I couldn't jump in time. We just go and buy the bike again. Hold right. Don't worry about any gold at this point, doesn't matter. Short hop, big hop over those two. Hold right, medium hop, land on this 4. And then off of those 4 you want to do almost full jump, but slightly less than a full jump, land on top of these 3 with the bike still intact. And then off of these, do a full jump with the bike crashing into this extra life, possibly with this final wall, and dropping down. Which, sorry, I have to buy the bike again, should have save stated after buying the bike. Which should look something like this. Short hop, full hop, medium hop. Slightly too short of a hop. You want to land on top of these without breaking the bike. Short hop, full hop, medium, medium, land on top of those 3. You can slow down to adjust, like I was pressing left a bit there to make sure I landed on top. So it's better to do slightly too big of a hop and then hold left to make sure you land in the right place, rather than do too short of a hop and not be able to make it. And then just run forwards into the boss arena. We do a final pause in the same place as the other ones. There we go, that's the example of the half pause because I paused slightly too early. Yeah, again, it's the same place as the previous rock floors for the bosses. This one's answers are rock and paper again. And this is the final ones you need to remember, apart from the final boss actually, never mind. The second last ones you need to remember. Rock and then paper. And then you have to fight this guy. Oh, I've missed an important detail. What we want to do, the last chance you have to pause, the last chance you have to select the ring is when you do the pause glitch for the boss. So what we want to do is when we pause here, hold A to select that ring. Again, you don't have to open the menu screen and select it. You can just pause and unpause. As long as you're holding A, you'll have the ring selected. So now you have the ring for the fight, which is going to take place after this. And the ring speeds up this fight quite a lot if you get the hits in the right place. So rock, paper. He'll say that's the way it's meant to be. So, as soon as the fight starts, you want to do a straight jump, a medium straight jump, and a fire. Like this, so that the shot passes through his head as it first rises up. So that's the first hit we want. As soon as you land, do a hold right full jump and fire. Don't hold right for too long after you've reached the top of your jump, otherwise you might run into his head afterwards. Like that. Straight hop jump. Straight hop, fire, full jump, fire. And then as it's coming down on the other side, do another hold left full jump and fire. So there we go, like that. That's the optimal hits. If you miss one of the hits, one of these 3 hits, you can... I'm expecting to miss one of these 3 hits at some point. You can fire again there. As the pattern his head takes comes all the way along the bottom towards you. So just as long as the shot is going along the bottom of the ground. And if you've missed even more hits, then you have to make sure you jump over it as it comes underneath you and comes around again. And don't run into his body before it's despawned, because it can still injure you, of course. So, we're on the final castle. You can't control Alex for that start screen. Hold left as soon as you have control, just hold left. You'll run back onto the start screen, and for some reason, there's a 1 block wide invisible gap over here. So what you need to do is crouch slide, which you haven't used yet. Holding down while holding a direction does nothing. Similar to 16-bit Sonic, so what you need to do is let go of left for a second while you press down, and then as soon as you press down, start holding left again. While still holding down, even. So like this. And then... no, okay, we want to let go of down as well, so... The way to do it, hold left. Once you're in this spot about here, hold down, and as soon as you've slid, hold right and let go of down, so that you can move while sliding. You do this little shuffle in the sliding position by 1 pixel every slow amount. Anyway, so what this is doing is moving the objects in the castle 1 screen further to the left every time we do this. If you miss the slide, you'll just bonk up against the wall. You have to run back to the right and back up to the left and do it again. So every time we transition the screen to the right, we want to immediately move back to the transition the screen to the left. We want to immediately move back to the right and go out to the right and do another slide under here again. So you do that once, do that twice. You need to do it. You need to get it right quickly here, so this thing doesn't kill you. Do it 3 times. It's a big one. Again, do it quickly here, so this enemy doesn't kill you. That's the 4th time, and then this one with the question mark box is the 5th and final time. And once we move back to the right now, we hold right, do a jump, land in between these 2 fires, do another jump. Hopefully while holding right the entire time. Although to play it safe, you can always make sure you land in there and let go of right slightly. And then this is the very important final big glitch. So, you jump onto the screen. Depending on how much kind of time you want to line up, how much space you want to give yourself to line up your timing, but lose some time, do a bigger jump or not, basically. So, or wait longer until you jump off the screen. So what we want to be doing is make sure you hold jump the entire time it's transitioning and as you enter this room. That is important. I'll repeat here. Save state here. So jump off of the screen and hold jump. And then exactly in the position we're in now, we don't want to see this text box. So exactly in this position, we're doing another pause, the same as all the bosses previously. We're doing a pause but not unpausing immediately because we need to select the staff ank thing. So yeah, so where you land in this room is your preference, as long as you're holding jump during the entire screen transition, and as this room scrolls into view, and as you gain control on this, you have to be holding jump. So then you can let go of jump once you land in this room. So you'll either walk from the left to the right to the spot, or from the right to the left, depending how far you've jumped into the room. And you need to pause in the right place. You have a few frames of lenience, like the same as the other boss fights. You need to pause in this position. And once you have paused, does frame advance even work in the pause menu? Yeah, that's a lot of frames. Once you're paused, hold right in the menu don't unpause yet. Hold right. Select this ank by pressing jump. As you select the ank, I'm not sure if it matters whether it's before or after. Hold up. Yep, just before you unpause, hold up. Unpause while holding up. And you will rise up. You're in the Janken match with the boss. You need to press up once in order to change to a hand. Hand is the one you need first. Pause exactly there. It's an audio cue. It's good for an audio cue. If you rise out of this room or fall out of this room you're currently in, you've now soft locked. Congratulations. No. So we pause there. We select the ank and unpause while holding up. We press up once. We can let go of buttons now. You'll hear the audio cue. As soon as you've thrown your rock, paper, scissors, you're good to pause, unpause. Hold down and right. Hold down more than right. Don't hold right too much. But as long as you've moved right by at least a couple of pixels, you should be fine. And just before this darn it I lose text box comes up, you need to have punched. Punch needs to be the last thing you've pressed. Once you press punch, let go of all directionals. Don't press any other directionals. And this will ensure that you are stationary. I'm not currently stationary, I'm sinking, that is bad. But that should ensure that you are stationary. Up once. So the timing for punching before the text box appears, you're just going to have to get a feel for, basically. down, right, punch. So then in this spot, you're now stationary. You still need to complete the Janken match in order to select the right thing, press up once. And you should have scissors. You'll say down and I lose. At this point, the reason you needed to move down and right slightly there before punching. Punching makes you stationary, but the down and right moves you away from this wall that appears after the match finishes, so you're not in a wall and die. You want to be holding right at this point, while holding A to skip the text boxes and holding right. If you're in this spot, you can just crouch and do the little crouch slide out of here. But normally you'll be slightly further left and just fall straight to here. If you're holding right, you'll fall into here. The princess's text box will display. As soon as the text box is over, you're still holding A and right. Let go of A and do a short hop, and go straight to the portal. And then you've done it. You've done all the difficult stuff. This level, hold right straight into the water and then start holding A, so you swim fast. Hold down, no, look left, that's very important or else the fish will kill you. Hold down and left and A, the entire way down. Once you get to the bottom, hold right, until you're lined up about here, and then you can punch safely over the edge without that guy hitting you. Once you're clear of that fish, hold right. Spam punch over the edge there, hold A and down and right. Get into this room, punch the door, and hold right. Once you're in this room, you can't control Alex for the first second or so of this room loading, for some reason. So some people like to punch to make sure you have to control because you see the punch. I just wait for a second or two. And you need to stand on these tiles in the correct order, otherwise a ghost appears and comes and kills you. Which we do not want, obviously. And the order of these tiles is... revealed to you now. So don't move for a second. We jump to the middle. Full jump, hold right. The order is middle, water, moon. After you can turn around on a tile that you've just hit. After you hit the moon, do another full jump over the 2. Star, middle, moon. Water, full jump. Fish, star, fish. As soon as you've hit the fish, move out slightly and hold right and jump on top of that spot. Full jump, left. And as small of a jump as possible over each of the spikes. They can't kill you as much as you think. You can actually pass through them quite a bit. They can kill you, obviously, but you do need to jump over them. So you want to do really small hops so that you land as close to the kind of left side of these spikes so you don't bonk up against this before you get the crown, so you jump nicely onto it. That's where the timer ends, on the crown. That is the run. I think I've gone into pretty good detail on everything I could think of. Sorry that this video is fairly massively long. But hey, it's got everything you should need to know, barring new discoveries so far. Star, middle, moon, water, fish, star, fish. And that is Alex Kidd in Miracle World. Any questions, obviously, message, comment, etc. Yeah. Enjoy. Hope you get some good runs in. Hopefully the frame perfect press is kind to you. There is, of course, a glitchless category for when you get too angry with the frame perfect press, but those castles are difficult, man. Just skip them. You know, just skip them. But, cool, I'll leave you with that, and good luck with the runs.